Welcome to the eighth episode to MedLife Mike Talk. We are your hosts, Alec and Alex, and we are here to discuss two games, two totally different games for the Giants. We do apologize. We were not able to drop an episode last week, but this is why we're doing double duty tonight, and we're going to be dropping two episodes. We weren't feeling well last week, but we're okay. We're great now, and we're back at
Yep.
it, and we're
No
dropping
more
two
abscess
episodes
near my
today.
armpit. No more pain. I was miserable last week for my birthday weekend. Sucked. We're good. We're back. It's drained.
Yeah, let's
I'm
go.
feeling better than ever.
So we're going to start talking about the Giants Saints game. The final score being 14 to 26 with the Giants losing and going 1-4. It was definitely a very frustrating game from top to bottom, starting off the game with two touchdowns back to back. And it had the recipe for a blowout from the Giants to blow out the Saints for once. And turnovers, five of them, ended up costing us this game
Very
because you're never
costly.
going to win a game with even like two to three turnovers. But five, you're never going to win a game like that. And
Very unacceptable.
you're never going to expect to win a game like that ever with that type of performance. Like I said, the opening of the game, we were all texting, in the beginning and how hyped we were with opening drives, two Theo Johnson touchdowns. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better than that. And then after that, it started five consecutive drives with a turnover. Five consecutive drives with a turnover. The Giants, I feel like, are always in the opposite end of historic stats. And this is one of them that has never been broken since 1990. Like it's unbelievable, very frustrating. This game was very frustrating from top to bottom. I don't know your thoughts about this, Alex, but we'll talk about a little about it.
I thought this is like I said before. This is a game that I thought they should have won. I know I said it wasn't going to be an easy game, but definitely should have been a game that they could have done better and come out with a win. But with those costly turnovers and how they played compared to previous weeks, I don't know. It was just like another slap in the face as a Giants fan, and obviously for the players themselves. The morale. I don't even know, man. They look like a high school team out there with those turnovers. Um, and obviously, those costly turnovers ended up losing, which should have came out with a win.
Yeah, no, we shouldn't have lost this game, and it's so frustrating. Um, we also another thing, penalties, man. Eight penalties for 95 yards we had in that game. And these penalties from the DPI to the constant, hitting the receiver before they even catch the ball. It's just like it's crazy to me. It's like, can we just have the basic fundamentals on the secondary in regards of not hitting the receivers or grabbing on them before the ball's there? Anytime there's a big throw down the field, regarding even not even the Saints game, we have penalties. Phillips is the most penaltied cornerback in the NFL, and it's not even close because any contested catch, he is grabbing on the jersey, or he could just do like Deontay Banks and just full on tackle a receiver on the
That was a pathetic one. I can't believe that one, man. Especially when we had an interception, got overturned because of that pathetic thing that you did when you brought the receiver down with him.
yeah. I mean, and then another veteran that I was, very frustrated with, Darius Slayton. I mean,
The
the field
drops.
goal, we were driving down right before halftime, and that probably would have changed the game in regards of maybe getting another field goal going into half. And then luckily they missed two field goals in this game. When does a team miss field goals on the Giants? Never. So not only that you gave the game away, but they missed two field goals that were given 6 points, that they could have scored, but they missed. But usually on the other end, the Giants always ended up getting those field goals made. So it was nice to finally like be on the opposite end of it. but to turn over the ball 5 times and then one of them to go back for a touchdown, which totally, at that point, I knew the game was over. When Scatterboo got the ball punched out at the 10-yard line, going, about to score again. Again, game would have been different if they scored there. And they were driving. And then the ball was randomly punched out, and then bam, it was a thick six, is what we would call it. Um, just very frustrating. And then the two interceptions and a fumble by Jackson Dart. The two interceptions is very hard to really get on him with that. Like, yeah, they're not great. You don't want your quarterbacks throwing interceptions. You could also use the excuse, he's a rookie.
Rookie
But
mistakes. He'll learn from them.
one was a 4th and 9. He tried to make a play out of nothing. He had to throw the ball because what? He was going to take the sack and then what? And then the other one was Bo Collins just stopped running his route on a slant and Dart threw the ball where he was going to be, and he just stopped running and he got eaten alive by the receiver coach on the sideline as soon as he went back, like ripped apart. So it's definitely not good on that end. So it's really hard to look at those interceptions, and really fully blame him. Because like like again, 4th and 9, you have to make a play to keep the game alive. Like, and he didn't throw like just a Hail Mary like a Russell ball. He threw it to Darius Lane, and the corner just jumped it and picked it off, and then that was that. I mean, the other one was just, like I said, just Bo Collins completely just stopping his route. And then the fumble, that you can call a rookie mistake.
Hmm.
I mean, he ran the ball and just flat out dropped it.
Drop it. Had it
Didn't
one
tuck it.
hand.
I mean, it's a lot of these college kids that come out of college, man. They, they feel good about themselves, but they like to hold the ball with a one-hander, like grabbing it with one hand. But you are taught from football 101 is when you get that ball, you tuck that baby. Don't hold it out, run like this with the
You
ball out.
fucking put that thing right in your pit, right there.
Yeah, it's, again, that was a rookie mistake. Will he make that again? Probably
Hopefully not.
not. So I'm hoping, that's not an issue going forward, which I don't think it will. And then I do want to talk about Jalen Hyatt and Evan Neal. I did talk about this a little bit. We've been talking about this for a couple of episodes, especially more Evan Neal now. Um, he's wasting a roster spot. We're not even dressing this guy
Yeah, I don't.
he's
I
not
don't
even
even think
dressed
I've seen him like come in at all for like a play.
there. He's been inactive every single game this year. So what is the point of keeping this guy on the roster? Either trade him for like a 6th round pick or just cut him because you're wasting a roster spot for him for like maybe a little Jordan Humphrey or a receiver that we could bring up on the roster without, just activating our roster spot every week when we have a guy like Evan Neal and Jalen Hyatt really just wasting spots on the roster. And then another thing that I'm really frustrated about with the Saints game is that the Giants, I don't know if you knew this, the Giants went in with only 51 players on their active roster.
I did not know that.
So they purposely didn't go into a game with a full 53-man roster, knowingly that didn't even bring up a receiver, knowing that Malik Neighbors wasn't there. And then Darius Slayton ends up getting hurt, with his hamstring midway in the game. And we're out there with Wan'Dale Robinson, Bo Collins, an undrafted rookie. And then who else was I'm hitting a blank because Lil Jordan
They
Humphrey
had
wasn't there.
obviously
Oh,
Theo
and Hyatt.
Johnson was out
Hyatt
there.
was thrown
Yeah,
out there.
Hyatt.
Um, so that's the receiver core you had out there. It's concerning. And to not even like bring up any sort of receiver is wild to me, especially when you have the two roster spots. Like, and I saw Giants reporters like were asked, like, is this the normal thing that teams do? And they said no. Like normally you go into a game with 53 people and not 51. So it's like that's baffling to me. Like that made me like so pissed in all levels. Like it's just the idiot. idiocy of like just the lack of coaching, I guess, in regards of like just not wanting to bring up players.
Well, hopefully they'll learn a lesson from that one and not do it again. And actually, with injuries, they'll either come in with 53 or at least find some sort of replacements for some people that are either injured or on IR or have their season ended.
Yeah, no, I definitely, I think this game is definitely a wake-up call. And it was a wake-up call for not only the defense, the secondary, because the secondary is getting cooked out there. Like I said, with these defensive pass interferences, man, anytime the ball's thrown deep, they're 9 times out of 10 hitting the receiver before they get the ball, or grabbing them, or just not tracking the ball and grabbing them before the ball's hitting in their hands, which is automatically giving them a first down where they were at, which is like just killing us. It's killing the drives.
They're just playing too soft defensive wise.
Yeah,
Like the defensive backs. Like I feel like every game I watch, they give them a, a good chunk of separation.
yeah,
Which that right there, you give some big plays right there, or like some drives to get a first down when you're trying to stop them and get the ball back. But
yeah. No, I agree. It's
they
just
really got to work on that more.
it's just very frustrating in regards of just they got to wake up and get a reality check. And on top of that, it's unfair to put this type of pressure on two rookies, aka Scatterboo and Dart, to carry the momentum of a team fully. And they both got like a rookie wake up call during this game. Both of them, with fumbling and Scatterboo's going for a touchdown. I mean, that touchdown wasn't completely his fault. But I mean, the fumble was, and like I said, lessons learned. It's going to make the team better in some way or form, which it did.
Yep,
We went into Thursday night football, ends up
against the
being
Philadelphia Eagles.
the reigning, defending Super Bowl champions, our division, the Philadelphia Eagles, winning with a blowout, 34-17, first time on prime time since 2015. The Giants not only steal a win, but embarrass the Birds on
Cry
national
Eagles,
TV.
cry to all you Eagles fans. Sorry, but suck it.
So, dude, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, and you know it. I texted it. I'm gonna own up to it.
we
I
were we were
said
hyped. We
I was
every
going, I was going to, I predicted that they were gonna lose. And I said it all day. I said it to my best friend also, who's a diehard Eagles fan. And I said it, I was like, dude, I'm not excited. I'm not really looking forward to the Giants losing 2 games in 1 week. And damn, man, was I wrong?
Which, by the
And
way, now that you bring up that you predicted it, what's the score count right now between you and I, and who has the most right and who has the or whatever?
uh,
All
I'll calculate that and might have to bring it up in the next episode.
right.
But yeah, I'll definitely have to calculate it because I didn't want to calculate it yet until like we're halfway through which one
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
But we both, I know, did you
I
predict?
don't remember. I don't take a quick look. I feel like I predicted to lose. Well, I could be wrong. Maybe I predicted that we're gonna win.
All right, let's see. I think you had them. Yeah, you picked them to win.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's up?
I was gonna say I thought you did. So yeah. But you have their second matchup as a loss, and I also had
Not,
them losing both to the
well, I mean,
Eagles.
that's at home over there, but
So that game's coming up in 2 weeks. It's coming up real quick.
yeah.
But anyways, let's get back on this Potta's very positive train because man, what a 180 this game was. It
Wake up
was
call from the last game to this game. They turned it around. They played with momentum. They played phenomenal on both sides of the ball, offensive wise, defensive wise. And not just that, dude. Another first drive touchdown That makes it three first drive touchdowns for Dart this
Yeah.
season so far.
And
Phenomenal work so far.
not only they scored three first opening drives, but they scored back-to-back games with four touchdowns total, back-to-back touchdowns. So they scored the first two drives of the last game, the first two drives of this game, and it was commanding. I mean, Dart, like I said this in the preseason. The one thing, I don't take the preseason snaps and statistics to the full level, but what I was watching from Dart during the preseason and what has carried over to now, and now the media is talking about them and about this specifically, what I brought up. Literally, one of our first episodes is his pocket presence. His
Yeah.
pocket presence is levels ahead what it should be as a rookie. And not even just expanding plays, but just being able to control the line and control the receivers that he has. And this time around, they actually activated Lil Jordan Humphrey. And the first drive, he throws a ball up to him to go catch because Lil Jordan Humphrey is around 6'6", so he has the height advantage. Doesn't have the speed, but he has that all pro level, which he's played in NFL games before and he's made NFL rosters. So it never made sense not to activate him, which they should have activated him on the Saints game, which they learned this time around because Darius Slayton was obviously out with the hamstring injury. First ball, throws it up to him, he catches it. Then he drives down, walks in, or runs in for a touchdown. Beautiful. Energy is electric in MetLife. And then you
Yeah.
go down to the second drive, and then to that him bouncing around the line and still having control to throws across his body to Wan'Dale Robinson, who breaks it down the sideline. It gets into the end zone and gets up 14-3. And I was like, is this really happening right now?
Complete turnaround from last week.
Yeah, it was.
And especially against the Eagles too.
Yeah. And then like you have some Eagles fans like, oh, well, we want Jalen Carter. And it was like Jalen Carter chose not to play because of the MedLife turf. And he was a baby and didn't want to go in there and get hurt. And then you guys thought you were going to cakewalk us because I'm going to go off track real quick. I want to go on a little rant. And it's not about the Giants for once.
Jalen Carr is a pussy.
Yeah. Yeah, we could say that. So, um, the one thing that really, really irked me this game, and who I have all respect for, is Saquon Barkley. You thought you were going to drop a documentary on Amazon Prime the day the Thursday
Oh
night
yeah.
came out on for the Giants regarding your career, because you deserved such a documentary as a player in general to record yourself for throughout your NFL career. And then again, thought you were going to cakewalk the Giants, so you're going to drop your documentary the night you play the Giants, and then going to beat us, and then be like, "Oh, well, tune in on my documentary." Well, tune in on that documentary, buddy, because you guys your ass kicked on that in that game, and then on top of that, you only had your two biggest runs. Your camera's off. Your two biggest
Oh,
runs
what the hell?
when the first two drives, and then after that, you were held for the entire game. So. The message didn't work, buddy. So maybe next time.
Yeah.
And this is not the same old Giants. And I've been saying this since the preseason. And it's been ups and downs, but these two rookies, Scatterboo and Dart, are really flipping this locker room upside down in the most positive way. And it's taking over the NFL, not even just the Giants. I mean, they're the main cover of the NFL photos right now.
I saw you
And the
share it and I
caption,
was like, no way. And I looked at it and I was like, holy crap.
and then they're the bio on Twitter. It says 46 and 44 best friends for life. So it's fun to watch. It's exciting because damn, we freaking deserve this, man. This is one of the best wins, best feelings that I felt as a Giants fan in so many years, man. And I know the same felt for you too. Like it's not even just that
Definitely.
yeah, it was great that we beat the
I was
Eagles,
hyped.
man. But it was on national TV and every national game, bro, we lose. Or we lose in some horrific way or get blown out. It's
every
never just us
prime time. It's
walking
been
away
so
with the
long since we gotten a win in prime time. It just felt so good to finally get one, especially against those goddamn birds.
yeah.
Fuck them.
And then we had Scadaboo, who went for 19 attempts, 98 yards, 2 yards shy from 100. Definitely deserved the 100-yard game there. But three touchdowns, three touchdowns. Wild game for this guy. The Eagles were drained to tackle this guy because this guy doesn't go away for tackles. He's going to
Nope.
run at you and he's
He's
going to
gonna
make sure you want to tackle him. And if you don't, you're going to get run over.
CTE, CTE.
He's our Bam Bam Cam. That's what we call
Hell yeah.
him.
Oh
So,
man.
and then the defense. The defense to hold a shutout basically at halftime with these Eagles. I mean, the Eagles have a lot of issues going on, just even internally. You can injuries, all that, whatever. I don't care about that because the Giants had no receiver one or two, and they lost their center in the game. So the Eagle fans don't want to make excuses that you lost. No, you got your belt to ass on Thursday night.
You got your boots to the asses, as The
So,
Rock would say. Defensive wise, man, Jesus Christ, what a turnaround. More pressures. Brian Burns again with another sack.
2 sacks. He's leading the league
Two
right now.
sacks, dude. What is he at? I think I have him at
7.
what, 7, right? 7 for the
Yep.
season so far.
Yeah. He's having a monstrous year, man. I mean, he's having the best year of his entire it seems like his career right now, the way it's going. So,
Yeah,
I mean, good for him, man. I mean, he's leading this
well
team.
deserved. He deserves that money that we paid him.
Yeah. And Abdul Carter, his stats may not show up on the sheet, but he's leading the rookies and defensive linemen of pressures in the NFL. He's
He'll
up,
get his.
yeah, he's up for the track as of this morning in betting odds. The favors to win offensive rookie of the year and defensive rookie of the year is Jackson Dart and Abdul Carter.
Dude.
Imagine that in a couple months, if we could have two, not just one, but two Giants players winning Rookie of the Year
Rookie
for
of the
different
year.
positions,
Oh my god.
because that's where it's leading right now. If they both stay healthy, knock on wood, and everything keeps going the way it's going with them, dude, I mean, what a bright future for this team. This team is one of the youngest in the NFL, and this is what we wanted as Giants fans, hope. They didn't even just give us hope. Like they gave us belief in Jackson Dart and Scadaboo. Like we got this. And what I loved about them after this game, what they said to the media, they said a lot of these players know about losing. We weren't around there. We weren't here when they were losing. All we know is how to win. And I said, I freaking love that. Like that's what these because I've said we've talked about this. All this Giants team has known is losing on the walls, losing in the stadium, losing at home and just losing in general. So that's just a lot of these players that have been around that with the Giants, like a Darius Slay and Dexter Lawrence. And I'm not saying that they're losers, but I'm just saying like that's all they've known is like how to lose games, basically, like saying how it is. Um, but now Scatterboo and Dart are like, nah, we're gonna change that. And Dual
Yep.
Carter's, nah, we're gonna change that too. And it's starting to like spread through the locker room, like, yeah, we could beat these teams. And not only did they beat the Eagles, they whooped them and they beat the Chargers. So they went out 2 weeks ago, beat the number one team at that time of the AFC, and then they went out and beat the number one team of the NFC just 2 weeks prior. And now this Sunday, they're going against the number one defense in the league, which I said this to you before the season was the Broncos. And this was before the season even started. The Broncos defense is legit. Um, but this is going to be a huge, not even just like a big test, a huge test for the Giants offense, but also Jackson Dart to really, if he goes out and even performs well, I'm not even saying a win, performs well,
Then you know he's it.
we're in freaking good hands. We are in good hands if that is the case.
You know what's just funny about the this game is when Dart went out just to get like concussion protocol or whatever,
Yeah.
and you just see, dude, Brian Dable is the first one. I think it was I think he was the first one, or it was Cam Scatterbo. I forgot, but you know the concern from Brian Dable just going into the tent, and because he wants him back. You can tell he doesn't want to play Russ. Freaking Russ goes in, fucking gets booed,
Yeah,
fucking throws a pass, goes straight to the ground. Like, come on, man. What are we doing?
yeah. And they Jay Glazer reported yesterday on Fox Sports the Giants are expecting a hefty fine for Dable going in the 10. Um, so it could even get to the point where they lose draft picks and suspensions
Oh,
because of it. But
boy.
he said it doesn't seem like it's that route. It seems like the Giants are expecting a hefty fine. So I'm expecting like a $200,000 fine, something
Yeah.
crazy. Um, I mean, Brian Dable, I mean, the guy,
Hey, he's concerned for his player.
yeah. I mean, he apologized right after the game and said that he was trying to figure out if he was going to go for it on fourth down, if he was coming right out or not. And he apologized. But apologizing is not going to help the fine because that fine is definitely coming. And we should probably know tomorrow, to be honest, because fines usually happen on Tuesdays after, the Monday night games. So Tuesday, Wednesdays is when they hand out the fines. And supposedly that they're going to make a quote unquote statement to the Giants, like like send a message to the league regarding the situation when it wasn't really that big of a deal. Like,
I don't think it was a
like
big
I
deal
would
at
have,
all.
I would have understood if he went in there and, like pushed the doctor or like move the doctor out of the way, or all he did was open the zipper, like, I mean, that just goes back to the no fun league, is what we call
Yeah.
it. And then we have Scatterboo getting a taunting penalty for just standing up and saying something. But then you have,
Which wasn't even that bad at all. Like, I've seen worse.
yeah, and then you have Patrick Mahomes last night just full on just taunting at a player and no flag gets called because he's Patrick Mahomes and he can just walk on water. But we're not going to call that. So it is what it is. I mean, it's stupid, those stupid little things. He's going to learn from it, not do it again. And that's all we could do. I mean, what was impressive, not only on with the Giants, was the third downs. The Giants, man, third downs were 11 for 16. 11 for 16, making a first down on third downs. And the Eagles were 1 for 9. So that alone is a game changer. That alone is the reason why the Giants won games. Because normal Giants games, third downs, we were like, oh, here we go. Like, uh, three and out coming right here or something like typical stuff. And Jackson Dart's like, nah, not this time. Was expanding plays, making plays, scattered, running people over constantly.
Love it.
And it was Eagles players were exhausted at the end by Scatterboo running at him. Like you don't want to tackle the guy. I mean, let's be real here. The guy is not running out of balance. He's running at you and he's going to run through you if you ain't going to try to wrap up.
You know
And
what else?
Jackson did
I just
kind of the same thing
came to
too.
my head. Obviously, you know about this because I vented in our group text when the Eagles did the tush push 4 times.
Hmm,
Oh my god, dude, ridiculous! I don't know why it was just it stuck in my head, and I still won't let go
I
of
forgot
it.
about
Just
that.
how pathetic! How pathetic is that? 4 back-to-back tush pushes, man.
Yeah. I mean, that put the league on notice in regards of
I think so. After that game, I feel like now they're probably gonna be like
they're going
either
to ban
set
it.
a limit of how many tush pushes you can do, or I don't know, man.
No,
It's getting ridiculous.
they're definitely banning it. The way it was already going that route after this year. Especially the false starts, man. They're false starting every time.
Yeah, there was that one where what was it the center or the guard? I forgot who moved their arm or whatever. They just
They jump.
yeah.
Yeah. No, it
And of
happens all
course they
the
don't
time.
get called for it, but
And
God forbid it's us.
the NFL refs were told weeks ago to keep a good look on this line because they line up illegally and they jump. And we're still doing that. And now you have NFL players. I saw Micah Parsons, like it was
Yep,
he went out and tweeted and
called
said
them
this is a
garbage.
football play. And it's not. It's not a football play. It's a rugby play. And they could Eagles fans were like, oh, well, we're just better at it. Like, cool. It's gonna get banned next year. Have fun doing it for a few more months because that did not help your cause Thursday night. It just made you guys look weak. And this is why you guys have locker room issues with your players like AJ Brown, who's going to be not on the Eagles next year.
Definitely, he's
Um,
definitely going to seek a trade. I can see it.
and Devontae Smith getting frustrated, and then Saquon Barkley looking terrible this year, and then
Thank
Jalen
God.
Hurts, who is very predictable, only passes on his left side, and which calls ended up an interception by Cordell Flott because Jalen Hurts barely throws the ball when he does, and then when he does throw the ball, it's to the left side, and it's predictable. The Eagles' plays are predictable. And the Giants' defense and other teams are going to jump on this, in which they have. They're very lucky that they're 4-2 right now. So we'll see how they handle with the Vikings this weekend. And then they're back home against the Giants in 2 weeks. But I think they got the lesson in regards this team isn't going to just bend over and just take it anymore. So you're either going to take the best punches from us in 2 weeks again, or you're going to get run over. No pun intended. And yeah, I mean, like I said, we have a game next this week on Sunday at 4 o'clock, actually, not a 1 o'clock game. Um, Against the Denver Broncos in Denver, playing, like I said, against one of the tough defenses in the league. We both had them losing this game. Do you still feel that way? What do you think?
I,
Our
I
next
feel
three
like if
games, just so you know, is Denver, Eagles, and home 49ers.
if we can keep this momentum that we had against the Eagles, uh, if we can keep that same momentum and play like they played, well around football, both sides of the ball, both sides, offense and defense. I'm not saying this game's going to be a blowout because Denver, like you said, is a good defense. Yeah, I feel like this game is going to be a really close one, a tight game that it's just going to come down to the end of who is going to execute and finish first. So I will say that we'll just make it out with a win.
Okay.
Maybe by, if anything, by a field goal.
Yeah. This is tough.
It's
My
tough.
my
It
perception
is.
has changed a lot with this team, just the way because technically Jackson Dart should be 3-0, the way, especially the Saints game. Those 5 turnovers was you never see that. And you're never gonna win a game like that. But they should have beat the Saints. But shoulda, woulda, coulda, the record is what they are. Um, but Jackson Dart's technically 2-1. Really frustrating. And really wish Jackson Dart started since early in the season. Because I feel like the season probably would be indifferent. I feel like we would steal that Cowboys game. And Cowboys are a terrible team. They should lucky they should even win one game this year. Um, because of just how bad their defense is. Yeah, Dak's having an all-pro year right now, but their defense is so bad. So bad. Um, so so going back to what I was thinking, like I think old Alec and the old Giants, I was predicting that they would lose this game. But the way Jackson Dart and Scadaboo carry themselves and have carried, like they put this belief in the locker room, like we could beat anybody on any given day, and we'll be better than you, even if you think we don't have our best players out there, like a receiver one. I don't know about Darius Slayton, if he'll be back this week. It's still a little too early. Um, by this episode, when this episode drops, we don't know yet. Um, but I would assume Lil Jordan Humphrey's brought up again. Um, but in general, I think the Giants defense will handle the Denver's offense and Bo Nix specifically because Bo Nix is playing pretty decent too. I want to give the kid credit too because he was like a Jackson Dart guy. People were like, oh, he's going to be a bust. He's not going to do well in the NFL, and he works really well with Denver, and he made it to the playoffs last year. Um, I'm still going to say they're going to lose this game. I think it's going to be close, closer than I thought it was going to be. So that's where my answer changes because I thought this game was. I think I said this game was going to be an ugly game. When I we did the prediction, but I think this game is going to be different now because they got the little momentum. I still think they could carry that momentum into the Eagles game. Like, wow, we just came close to like the top defense in the league. And this, like I said, is going to be a this is going to be a real test for Dart. Not even just the Giants, a real test for Dart to really get a good picture of where this kid is really at. And that's why I'm very, very excited for this game. I'm nervous, of course, but I'm very excited just to watch Dart's development and just seeing how he handles this game and handles this defense because this defense is legit. And you have Patrick Surtain over there who's just locking down everybody and anybody. So whoever's on him is not going to get the ball. And Dart's going to have to make some extra. If they steal this win in Denver, is because Dart's expanding plays. And dude, freaking slide because you're going to get yourself hurt. Because you've already been to the medical tent 3 times.
But he's a tough son of a gun because he's still back.
Yeah.
Still
But
plays.
the way he responded about the Chargers, when he stiff armed the one player, I didn't like the way he looked at me. Like, okay, bro, I love the energy, but
Dude, what was it? Was it this game? Was it against the Eagles or was it against the Saints? He was running out of bounds and he didn't even just like run out. He like literally threw himself
oh, yeah, it was
like
one of
a,
those
like a
games.
torpedo. And I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
I mean, I know you got the first down, but dude, you got to be more careful, my guy.
him and Scatterbo are lunatics. I mean,
Yeah, they're both gonna have CTE together.
they're all lunatics, but we love them. But again, man, they're bringing this team, all football aside, they're bringing this team back. Dude, it's New York football. Like, take away the Jets. The Jets should be taken out of the league. Um, the Giants. The NFL league is better when the Giants are good and fun to watch. Just call it a spade here. It's the truth. And the Giants, I think, are finally going in the right direction
I
and have
hope so.
proper puzzle pieces to
Don't let
find.
me down, guys. Please.
Yeah,
Speaking highly of you guys.
yeah,
The
please.
Giants gods, please. Don't make me like eat my words or eat our words that we're saying right
I hope not, man. I hope not. I mean, I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited for this week's game. I'm nervous, of course. I'm nervous for every game. But I'm excited. I just want to keep it competitive. And at the end of the day, let's just continue to grow as Dart, grows and learns more throughout the season. And because he's showing a lot of promise right now, not even just being,
now.
he looks like a bona fide star out there, the way he's just handling the NFL world with his hands, not even just playing football, just he's perfect for this New York media, man. Like Daniel Jones is having a great year, but
Stop saying it.
he's made for Indianapolis, like for that crowd. He was never made for the New York crowd, man. Jackson Dart is made for this New York crowd. And he came in like, I'm not only gonna be the QB1 here, I'm gonna win it during the offseason, which he technically did. But they didn't want to just throw the rookie in week one and wanted to give the respect to Russell, blah blah blah. That project failed real quick, and they were like, Dave was like, I'm doing what I want. I'm throwing this kid in, and that's what he did, and it is proven that Dable is putting all his marbles on this guy, and it looks like we might get a cash out in a good way here if things consecutively keep going the way Dart has been playing the last 3 weeks specifically.
Definitely.
All right, well, that is an episode. Thank you for joining us. As always, please like, subscribe, comment to our channel. We appreciate it. We will be back next week to discuss the outcome of the Denver Broncos versus
Hopefully it's a good
New
one.
York Giants.
Hopefully it's a good one.
And it's going. I feel like it's going to be a positive one here. But as always, thank you guys. We appreciate you. Hope you have a great rest.